What's up, gang? We back. 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 We are back. Thank you guys for being patient. Thank you, Judge Shady Court. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. Y'all know how it is. Yeah, I think the Illuminati got her phone. Goddamn, Illuminati got her phone. Goddamn finessed. They try to finesse her phone, but that's okay. Like Dr. E said, you know, the devil, he always working. So at the end of the day, let's do some connecting. Let's connect the dots like we do. First and foremost, I want to get into some things where everybody we know that this connection with Jay-Z is huge when it comes to this industry, when it comes to business. First and foremost, it's just a shame how a man in position, and me and Dr. E talked about this, in a position to do for his child that doesn't want to. And have you noticed that most of all these celebrities have the same type of mentality, Dr. E? The same type of mentality.
Yeah, it's about money and selfishness. They don't want to give up the money. They don't want anybody to be outshine him. His son raps too, right? So maybe he may be better. Maybe he may take the light. Maybe a little jealous that he's gonna have the same lifestyle that he had when he was the same age. You know, a little jealousy. You know, that's what I think.
Right. Hello, Dr. Lily.
Hello.
A little envy.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, Lord have mercy. I said, damn. She back, she back, she back.
Thanks to me, babe.
Thanks to the real
Yeah, I can hear it right now.
Yeah, you gotta do all that over.
Did you get you some wine?
I did not.
I said, damn.
I'm trying to find my
got you a drink after that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna drink tea though.
Some tea?
Yeah,
well, give me a drink. I said, damn, I need me a drink after all that shit.
I know, right? It's crazy. I'm looking for my keys.
Thanks, Judge Shady Court, for being patient and telling us to make that power move. Now, Dr. Lily, go ahead, Dr. E.
No, I was just saying I'm getting ready to make my lunch, so everybody, you know, just be ready now. Just, you know, whatever. What's up, Chad? What's up, everybody?
I'm gonna see if I can turn your volume up as well, Dr. Lily.
Okay. So that's yeah. I mean, goodness gracious. The microphone testing 1, 2, 3. It's definitely StreamYard, and it's a storm. So God knows when storm comes, their whole world.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is.
And they said the storm was severe.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Now, I wanted to look at this read here. Let me go back. It was from Vibe magazine. We're gonna go ahead and pick it up right here. Vibe magazine.
Oh, you know what I could do, babe? Look.
Whoa.
You can go to your history right here. It's right here.
All right. No. Vibe.
Yeah. You go to your history.
I don't see it right there. It doesn't say Vibe.
It's right here. Vibe. Right here.
That's it?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, Dr. Lily Coley.
That's a shortcut for you, babe.
Why is this screen here popping up? 7 in the building. Thank you guys for coming back. So now, Dr. Lily.
Yes, sir.
Now, did you read this article here from Vibe magazine? They tried to do you all type of ways, but we had a phone call, a very good conversation yesterday. Everybody, please hit that like button to keep us in it. Judge Shady Court says, Dr. Lily.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to go and Dr. Lily Coley, there's a Judge Shady Court. She's going to subscribe to you, probably put something in a chat, and We would love for her to cover over this story as well. She has a crowd, and I like how she do her thing. And I think empowering women is exactly what you're doing, and I think she definitely stands for that. So if we can get a roll off or something like that, I think it'll be lovely. But me and Dr. Lily Coley had a phone conversation last night, everyone. And in the phone conversation, and I think that would be nice, Dr. Lily. I think y'all mix together. Judge Shady, that's what she does. And far as the paperwork, I think I got you with the right person, Dr. Lily, to cover your case part. How does that sound?
It sounds good if you feel that's what it is, because
she's wonderful. Judge Shady, we're going to get that going. I'll set a date after I talk to her, and we'll get something going. I'll talk to you in the back chat, and I'll also leave you my contact as well in the back chat. I'm going to leave my contact, Judge Shady. Okay, so Dr. Lily Coley, now watch how they try to manipulate, and can't nobody say it better and tell the truth like Dr. Lily. Now, she going to hit you with some key points. Now, it said, now here's the thing. Jay-Z, you're going to have to report your ass to the principal's office, right? Now, it says, Jay-Z also told the courts, Dr. Lily, he only learned of the latest file on June 3rd and released additional time to formally respond. His legal team claimed to attempt. Now you hear them say they claimed. They team claims an attempt to contact, which they did, everybody. They did contact Satterway's guardian to coordinate was met with hostility. So now they're trying to say Dr. Lily Coley had hostility. Stated that the phone call ended with her hanging up. Dr. Lily Coley, tell them, like you told me yesterday, what had happened.
So did you actually get a chance to look at my video?
Not all, but the way you explained it, I wanted to do it natural.
Right, because that was natural too. It was basically, in a nutshell, the court records say what they say.
Right.
Very clear on when he was served and how. Mr. Carter was served several ways because, they're busy and doing different things. But I think he has a staff and people that work for him and open up his mail, etc. Nonetheless, the court is the one that executes the date. Once you provide the court with whatever information you have regarding to service of a person, in this case, a paralegal did it. And there was different simultaneous things that were done in terms of serving him, maybe not all on the same day, but in the time frame. And the paralegal did what was required by law to send the information. We did a process server. The process server went to the home and got some opposition right away. He called it a hostile environment. And sometimes it can happen when people are coming on your property. But this is, the world we live in, where things happen. And when people come to your home, you have to make a decision on what you're going to do. Absolutely. So nonetheless, there was no problem in serving him. We did it through the United States Postal Service, which they got this thing down pat. So there was a service that was met with hostility regarding the process server, according to his affidavit, which is all court filed. Then we also tried, the paralegal sent a certified mail because that was a courtesy, and that was returned. They got it and they gave it back. So they did see it. And then the third thing was the priority mail, which was fully delivered and never returned. And then the fourth thing was his attorneys were also served both on the East Coast and the West Coast. So that was clear. But I think sometimes they have to say what they want to say because Mr. Carter or someone didn't tell him. I don't know what happened. Don't know. But that's not for me to make a decision on. What I do know is that he was served and was delivered properly And if you have a staff and whoever's looking at your stuff or you're looking at your stuff, then you got to be due diligence about it. In this case, they allowed the time to lapse. The attorney did not.
Okay.
Yeah, the attorney did not get back to. They tried to do what they call an ex parte
Can you hear us,
communication. Yeah, I can hear you.
Dr. E?
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yep, I'm listening.
Right. So basically, in a nutshell, the where was I? The last thing was that he got served, and the information was put into the system, and the court executed an execution, what they call it. They call it an execution. Mr.
Okay.
Carter, now. So somehow the date was lapsed. His attorneys got back to me like 3 days later. These attorneys, I guess they were trying to figure out what to do, so forth and so on. But the date had
Yeah, like
lapsed.
Judge Sadie said in the chat, she said he was ducking.
Right. That's what it appeared. So we basically he allowed it to lapse the time, which legally we asked for a default judgment. But by then his attorney was calling. She called, I think one time, I'm not sure how many times she called, but I pick up my phone all the time unless I'm really can't answer it because I'm dealing with young people, small children, and I have to really stay focused on what I'm doing. So I don't always answer, but 99% of the time I do. So in that time, this person called. I didn't know who she was, and she identified herself. I couldn't hear her hardly because I was on a highway. And then I know she kept saying she was an attorney, but I told her I couldn't talk to her at this moment because I was on a highway, was busy, blah, blah, blah. And that I prefer for her to speak to me through the courts or through email because that way I can verify her. And she was proceeding to say statues and things like that, in my opinion. And this is probably her job. I'm not knocking her, saying that, whatever these things were, I'm letting you know this, I'm letting you know that, trying to get it on record. So I said, look, I can't barely hear you. I just told you what I told you. I'm going to terminate the call. So I terminated the call. So that was that. For me, it was no hard feelings. Just work through the courts and do what you do. The judge made a decision once that was all said and done to allow Mr. Carter to respond and gave him till June 18th. But the time did lapse. We did file a default judgment. We wanted one. And this happens a lot where people get a chance to whatever because it's at the discretion of the judge. So we're just hopeful that the judge will continue to do what's lawful and correct and be fair. Because to me, it's not about celebrity stuff. This is my life. This is the real deal. What happened here? Let's see.
We hear you. Continue. I'm putting some more material up. Go ahead. We hear you. Dr. Lily.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hear you.
Yeah. So did it drop out? Did everybody drop out or just me?
No, you still here.
I'm saying I dropped out because I came back in.
Dr. Lily.
This thing has been very challenging tonight. So in a nutshell, that's what happened with the phone call. If I don't know who you are, can't talk, and we're not making any kind of connection, for me, if I'm in the middle of the highway and dealing with people, mostly youth, I am not going to indulge in a conversation unless I think it's meaningful. And there's no offense to nobody. It's just that you're calling my phone, and then she called on a private number.
Dr. E, Dr. Lee.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear Dr. Lily, but C-Dub now is breaking.
Yeah, now he going out. This is like
you can hear Dr. Lily.
I can hear everybody.
Yeah, you're breaking up, C-Dub. Something you did.
Yeah, are you out there in the middle of nowhere?
No, I hear you. I'm here now. Y'all hear me now?
Basically, in a
Yeah,
nutshell,
we hear you now.
Yeah, this is all the stuff that goes along with court things, and no one's going to tamper with my character and what I do and don't do. I know what I do, and I don't need to speak loud and talk loud, but I do need to make sure it's clear that I'm going to be respected just like I'm going to respect you. So I think we're good on that. The problem I was concerned with was with the reputation, and it's like again, no offense to them of the firm because there were some things out there or some other cases they are involved with. I wasn't too happy about, and they're also involved with Demora Hatley, and her mother is Desiree Perez, and that's dealing with this old thing with her suing her mom. So for
Right.
me, it's not a good thing when but the young lady that called, she never seemed I mean, I didn't see it. She didn't seem like she was a bad person or anything because I don't know her. But they're attorneys and
But you
they're
see how they tried to make you look like you was bad though?
right. Well,
They
they
called it
always
hostility and that you hung up the phone.
right. I was supposed to hang up the phone if you're calling me from a line that
Exactly.
that is not. It should have been from a law firm. Now, if it came from the law firm, then I might have felt more comfortable. But I
Now let's
didn't feel
highlight that. Let's highlight that.
right because I didn't
Did
feel comfortable with that.
anybody hear what Dr. Lily Coley said? And am I right, Dr. E? It would have been better if it was from a law firm. Why would I be answering the phone? She lucky she did not get hung up on. I want you to call me from a law firm.
Yeah,
So I
Exactly.
can go back and document it that I was called from a law. That's more professional.
right.
But you
It
want to
was
call Dr. Lily Coley from a cell phone and come back and put it in the tabloids that they was answered with hostility. Come on, man.
well.
But see, here's the key thing about this, everybody. I want you to see.
Well, people always try to go after your character, so it's not gonna
Right.
bother me
But
because
the
I
thing
can
that,
say I can say more stuff, but I won't say even about the law firm because it's stuff
right,
I know because I knows people. You don't have to have a lot of money to knows people. You just call up. I have people that are bishops and archbishops and very high up. And they know some big folk. So you got to be careful who you're talking to because
yes,
you can get yourself in some situation. And like I said, there's no offense to her. She has a job to do, and so do I. But if you call my phone, then if we can't have a civil conversation, I don't want to have a conversation at all.
right. And you did the exact right thing. But
I know
see,
I did. Yep.
the thing that people need to look at, and I'm going to highlight this, what Judge Shady said. She said, and like she said, that's 100. Exactly. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. Now, some people, these penis handlers, let me use that because we have professional people in the chat. Um, they gonna say, "Oh, Jason, she did the right thing. She hung up the phone." No, that's why we having this live today, right now. Because first of all, what did he say? We made an attempt. Nah, nigga, attempt to take your ass down there and pee in that and pee and take that blood test. Let them go ahead and put that needle in. You want to do everything else. This should tell the whole thing, everybody.
Right.
You
So
want to
I
go get all these legal people and all of this other stuff. Just walk your rich ass down there and take the DNA test. So you avoiding it, Jay-Z, because that's your son. Why you don't want to take care of your son? Why you don't even want to? It ain't even about take care of him. He ain't no baby no more. You can't feed him no milk. But put him in position. That's your child. Don't deny him of his siblings because not only are you making his children suffer. These little children right here. Not only are they suffering, they're not suffering now because we don't know nothing. But later on, it may affect them. Your
Yeah,
grandchildren.
I think
You know,
he's trying to avoid the waterfall. You know what I mean? Because once this happens, this say everything is positive. Then, like you just said, now he has grandchildren. Now he's going to have other kids that may come out, other women that's going to come out because this is not the only woman he messed around with back in the day. There's going to be a lot of women that's going to probably come up, out the woodwork, and they're going to all ask for the same thing, go through the same procedure. It's just
yeah.
what it is, and
But
he's
we know
scared.
what it is.
What you do in the dark will come to the light.
You know what it is, gang? It's the fact that Wanda was underage. It was the fact that Wanda was underage. That's what it was. She was underage, and he's scared what the tabloid's gonna do to him.
Now,
What the media is gonna do?
how, how old was she? Because Diamond brought it to my attention the other day. She sent me some information on different states and what the age of consent is, and what we know pretty much is 18, right? So, um, the consent age, a lot of these states are 16. So, how old was she when she actually had the encounter with him?
Ramir.
Hmm.
Yeah, as far as
No,
I
the mother.
yeah, as far as I know, based on her affidavit, it was she the age was in New York was 16. She might have been
Mhm.
15, 16 when she conceived him.
Oh, so
And
I would make her underage.
yeah, she was definitely
Underage.
under. Yeah, the age of consent in New York is, I'm not sure what it is. I think it might be 16.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it was
age of
16,
consent in New York
16,
is 17. It's actually 17,
17.
and she was 16. So we're all clear on that, and it's not just
Okay.
the age. Or yeah, it is the age. Well, it's a big part of it, obviously, but also the fact that she had got
But
believed the child was someone that she had a relationship with.
so let me ask you a question. Say he took the test. Now let's let everybody know this. Now he's worried about the fact that she was underage,
Right,
right?
right.
So he took the test. Ramirez, his son, who would have to press that, or do they automatically go at him that she was underage? But if Ramirez didn't press the issue and said, "Hey, don't lock up my father," I'm not worried about that. Could he stop that from happening?
No, the state does that on their own. In fact, they're doing stuff for all,
Okay,
not just him, but all kinds of men that are in that situation. There's always been investigations on that because that's the law. The prosecutors
okay.
also, AG's office, whoever it is, that's all done on its own. So Ramir doesn't have any say on that. Um, so that's why the situation is a little messy because it didn't have to be this way because you kind of could have avoided some of that stuff, even though it's a big stuff. You
What
could have.
is your way? What do you think that he could have did to avoid it? Just have communication with Ramir and treat him as your son, and don't go down there and take the test.
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, he was
That's
doing
one.
trying to do the right thing.
And another question on that too, since this is in the past, would he be able to? I mean, like you said, since things are automatically going to be placed in place that she was underage and all that kind of stuff, would it automatically go back through the date and time from when it happened to not current, but until he got 18, that he would have to pay child support for that child, even though he's a grown adult now? Would they add up those years?
According to the law that I understand, is only when he became knowledgeable of it. So, because his mother didn't say anything right away, so was Wanda was doing what she was doing. She started her journey with this when he was about 16. She started writing him, according to her, when she was 13, and when he became visible in his work environment, which was Rock Nation or wherever it was, or whatever it was,
Right.
Rockefeller. So,
Hmm.
according to her, she said she wrote letters. People have come online and said they were working for Mr. Carter during that time and remember seeing some of the letters. So there was
Mhm.
a validation. So the thing is, when you deal with the court, because the man wasn't aware of it, he is not going to be penalized. He'll be aware of it when he is come to his knowledge that this could be his child, and
Okay.
Right.
that's where we are with
So,
that. So
so,
yeah,
so the only thing he'll probably have to pay in that regards is only like 2 years, 16 to 18,
well,
not
usually they
from
do. Yeah, they normally just go back 2 years. They say sometimes five, but just mainly two. But
okay.
it's so much bigger for Ramir than child support. And but our case is not about paternity at all. I'm not pursuing paternity. I don't think Ramir is. It's not about paternity. It started out as paternity, but this case that we have now is about fraud. It's about fraud.
Mm.
So it's dealing with we believe the actions that prevented us from getting any kind of closure or relief, if you will, regarding the subject matter, which was started out as paternity. I'm going after the damages of what I went through to do what I call myself doing as a guardian to Ramir and what the system did and did not do. And Mr. Carter's piece in that, if you will, in my opinion, is a part of that because his attorney, mainly the attorneys, participated in the I call the aiding and abetting
Mm,
behavior that was unlawful. So, and we tried to tell Mr. Carter in some occasions what was going on and blah blah blah. In the event he didn't know, because you sometimes you can have money and these attorneys at these low end attorneys, and that's what they were. Not to be funny, but they were very low end, and they were boasting, in my opinion, just looking to get a couple dollars for themselves. And I don't really think they had his interest at heart, but maybe they did. Who knows? But at the end of the day, it just they made something that was so simple into a mess, and
mm,
it just carried on from a paternity case to a fraud case, and then you had to try to block people from using the court system because they believed in their rights.
mm,
They believed in the system. They paid their taxes. So I think that this whole thing, and it's a very bad thing because it's embarrassing to the
mm,
black community. It's embarrassing to
It
see
is.
a black man, yeah, a black man not be able to find a way to deal with this black boy. And here we are in America. I'm a single woman raising a child that's not biologically mine, and I'm looking for what the mother said to have some reconciliation. Now, if it's not, then fine. But the way they handled it and the way they went about it was very distasteful. And I think
right.
people around the country should really take heed to this, to the way we were treated by the system more than anything. Now, Mr. Carter, being a black man, could have put a stop to all of it. And that's what
And
hurts
I
for
do
me.
want to tilt my hat to you, and give you so much respect because it takes a lot for you to. You're just like his mother. You know what I mean? I mean, you treat him like your son. You
Right,
worry about him. You know what? We talk all the time. You care about this young man. You could have let go a long time ago, and that's you can see the respect that he has for you. It's like you're his mother. It's not. You're not his. You're not. You're not his godmother. You're his mother.
right.
You know,
So,
and
yeah.
that's how it is. And I just want to give you the utmost respect and high esteem for taking a responsibility that his father didn't even want to take. And that it takes a lot. So I just want to salute you for that.
Amen. Yeah, so the case is definitely not about baby daddy. I mean, that's an underlining issue. It's about, um, being able to get damages for things when people's conduct or obstructing your ability to have a fair hearing based on their actions, their words, and their deeds.
Like you
And
said, he should have just stepped up. So you know what?
Yes,
Even if he didn't
yes.
believe it was his, he should have just stepped up like any other man should have, and then said, "Hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and take this DNA test and let's knock it out.
Let's
You
knock it
know,
out.
let's do that." And then if it wouldn't have been, and say, "Hey, I'm sorry. You know, I'm not or whatever your dad. Hope you good luck in finding him. But I hope this rests at this point. You know, it could have been that, or it could have been like, hey, it is his son, and it's like, oh well, I didn't know.
And
I mean, that is
and
either
thank you,
or. You know what I mean? It's either or.
thank you,
right,
Judge Shady Court. I'm gonna definitely make this work because as you see Dr. Lily Coley, you see Judge Shady is in the comment. She's going crazy in the chat.
she
She
all that in the
knows
bag
this.
of chips. Yeah,
Yes,
she's good.
she said corruption and fraud. So I think
Here you
on
go.
her
That's it.
platform, she's very good with her platform and her panel. And as far as the paperwork and all of that part, on the technical part, I think she'll be the best person so we can go tune into that live and really break it down. I think she'll break that down for you very well.
I think the problem with this, for the other person that spoke about him just taking the test, if he takes the test, he is also, even if he's not the father, he got a problem because you had a relationship with an underage girl, according to her
Hmm.
affidavit. So that's
So,
why he's
oh,
taking it.
oh, you know
Uh-huh.
what?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go, right
Yeah.
there. Like you said, either or.
Oh,
He's
he's
in
still
a
gonna
no
be in
win
trouble.
situation. Even if he, wow,
But all
But it
the
goes back to what we just said. You know, what you did in
yep,
the dark was going to come to the light. They
come
always
to the
say that.
light.
And so, he was young, he was in his 20s and he was doing his thing. And, we was talking about this the other day too. It's like, most guys, people think, oh, they probably didn't ask back in the day. I said, no, they always ask. It's been going on before us in our age. And I'm in the same age group as Jay-Z and R. Kelly and all these guys. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like, hey, are you 18? Let me see ID. This
Right.
was something that people used to do back in the day all the time, just
Yep.
for
All the
drinking
time.
purposes, just for hanging out or
Exactly.
whatever, because you already kind of worn that from your uncles and your dad or whoever told you, pretty much the same thing. Hey, make sure that, girls of age, that you out there messing with, because, these young girls get you in trouble. So just because they look
Hmm.
one way, or you just, going off your mind, or you intoxicated at the time, you got to make sure you go slow enough and be wise enough to figure things out. Maybe make a couple of dates afterwards and see what goes on with this particular person, so you can see how she carries herself, see how
Yeah.
old she really is. Ask around some questions. Don't be so hurried to get into bed the same day you meet the person. That's
I know.
part of the problem.
And I
You
know that.
know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then another part of the problem too, I want everybody to understand that is this: some people become slaves to their money, and not only that, and it has to be some sense. Listen to me, rock gang, of control. Why you say control? There are so many investors, mob investors, people that invest their money into what he's pushing. He's basically the face of whatever product that he's pushing, and these European people, they put their money behind it. So he's scared of what will happen if he takes that test, if he loses his life. Because you got to remember, it's some of these white people out there that will unalive you before they lose a dollar. So it is a lot of investors invested in Jay Z. And at that point, they put him in a position not to say anything. So he's a slave not only to his money, but to his investors. So that's the reason why he doesn't want it. The simple person would just go take the test, right? So there is people telling Jay Z, "Don't you go take that test, because you know you're gonna fuck up my money, right?" And he'll be in debt because the
Yeah,
That's a big.
L he took.
yeah,
That's a big thing. I
yeah,
didn't
because
think of it that way, but you're right.
he's a black man. So they'll
Right,
take him.
because what we don't do is once we get to these higher levels, dummy, once you get to these higher levels, or as you are rising, start investing in yourself. We just had this conversation, Dr. E. Invest your own money into yourself, but you keep letting
That's
these
right.
people hold your hand and keep,
That's
okay,
right.
we're going to send you over here and do this. We're going to send you over
Yeah.
here and do that. No, no, no. I done made this money. I'm going to put this over here for me
Yeah.
and get from
Yeah.
under these Europeans.
Yeah. Or
You let these
whoever.
Europeans run you so much. Why are we get these shows for you? No, go book your own show. Go find you
These
a
bosses.
venue. If you're big enough, listen, gang, the game is
Mm,
easy. The
yeah.
game is easy, gang. But we,
Bosses. Get from under these bosses.
yes, we
Exactly
as a
right.
community, we want that big upfront money.
Yep.
If you
Advance.
youngsters in the music business or whatever you are doing, I'm gonna give you the game right here. If you are blowing up in your city, if you are making noise in your city, because you know you got to blow up in your city first. I'm gonna give you the game. If you're making noise in your city, and you can go to the next state because you're making noise in that state, you know what you do? You go because now you're paying. People are paying you to go to the club in your city. Now you can go in your own city. Now I'm giving you the game and say, okay, man, I want XYZ for this show. You make your money for that show. You start making your money locally in that show. You stacking your bread. You know what you do then? You go to the next state that's listening to you too, and you go rent out a building for yourself. You don't let the people, you make your own money. You doubling your money. You rent the venue out. You sell out the tickets. You keep the money. You ain't even got to pay the next man that's going to bring you in town. You go to the radio station yourself.
Yeah. Before you sign. But once you sign now,
Yes.
they restrict that, don't they? Then they tell you when you can go and when you can't go.
Yes. But
But
once you learn the formula, you can keep doing it for yourself.
yourself, independent. That's right.
But these guys, the internet now has made that free distribution. The internet is your distribution. Jay-Z don't have to sign with The Rock, all these white people. His name is already buzzed. He can just go on here now and say my new album coming out and talk on his damn YouTube. But you're now a slave to the industry. It's how the white man slave us. And they keep us in that process. They give, and you take instead of stop taking.
But didn't Dame Dash try to get him to do that back in the day when he was already like,
Absolutely.
and then he decided to go sign with them and do a deal with them anyway, and that's how they kind of lost their friendship. It didn't what
Absolutely.
happened?
Yep. So let's watch this video and do some break this down. This guy wrote this down, fair use commentary. Let's rock.
Just woke up to the worst possible news ever. Both Jay-Z and Desiree Perez are currently involved in lawsuits with their children.
See, what you don't know is, Jay-Z bumping Desiree. I'm telling you now. That Desiree is his girlfriend. He on the side. I'm telling you. I know. Desiree allegedly is the girlfriend. If you ask me. They too close. Yeah, y'all quite. Look at that boy nose. I said, damn. Hold on. Now look at his nose. Look at it. Look at his nose, gang. Look at Jay-Z nose, gang. And look at Ramirez. I said, damn. I said, damn. I said, damn. I said, you a punk ass Jay-Z. You out. Boy, I'm gonna knock the rubber out the elastic in your drawers tonight. Boy, look at this man. You said your name was Hove. You said you was gangsta gang. Boy, go on, break bread. You can't take all that money to break bread. Man, continue your legacy, boy. You want to go out here. Come on, gang. Then you can win and you gotta inform it. Yeah, you gotta inform it working for his label. See, it's a lot of police shit going on in this game. FBI, CIA. Just low down. CIA, FBI. Same thing with the Dolph case that we're going to break it down to you. So now, let's continue. I told you I was going to do them all type of ways, Dr. Lily. Let's get it.
Children and or alleged children of theirs that's literally going to the
both of their kids. Yeah, she don't care about her daughter. Got all that money. Her daughter that went over there to Tasha K channel. Was all up on Tasha K channel trying to save herself. Say her mama don't like black people. That what she said? Said her mama was racist. All that money. All that money. Y'all better enjoy your paradise here, because boy, you're gonna be HE double hockey stick at the end of the day. Y'all get in here.
Define their legacy. It's gonna make or break their careers. The allegations in these lawsuits are so insane and crazy that depending on the results, these people could be finished, done, cooked. Jay-Z on one hand is being accused of fathering a child called Ramir with a 15-year-old when he was in his 20s, and he's been dodging and ducking and avoiding a DNA test with.
That's what Dr. Lily just said. That's what Judge Shady Court just said. He ducking. Because he's yours. And you don't give no damn about him. Same lip. You low down, gang. Now you wonder why you still going through some shit. Same teeth. We're going to do you all type of ways.
With Ramir like the plague for almost 5 years now. Taking this DNA test has literally been Jay-Z's worst nightmare. He's been avoiding it and ducking it, which is why the update that took place in court today is going to have Jay-Z up at night for a very long time.
So, anything you want to comment off of that, Dr. Lily Coley? Y'all running it up right now on this internet right now.
I mean, that makes a lot of sense. That it's, you got two children, you're flesh and blood, that are taking the parents to court. Desiree Perez, based on what I've seen from looking at her daughter's information and so forth and so on, is clearly a narcissistic person. Now, that's a personality trait, but it can go either one way or the other. It can go
Yep.
bad direction or good. You can make it anything good. From what it sounds like from her daughter, it sounds like that she didn't raise her. Her pop did.
Yep.
Her mother wanted her back when she was about 13 or 14. You know how kids can be at that age.
Yep.
And both of them kind of had strong heads. But the biggest problem is that it's not, she didn't want her to love who she wanted to love, which was her 14-year-old sweetheart. I don't know how you think you're going to break that up. And just the whole thing about the young man who reminds me of Ramir, her husband, he wasn't caught up in the flash. It's so funny about people, some people who are narcissistic and have very low self-esteem, that when they have money, they have a tendency that if you're not all the way up there behind, they don't like you. They want you to be kissing on them, all, just all this unhealthy, toxic type relationship. And it appeared to me, just listening and seeing stuff, that could be the same thing with her mom, who's had five baby daddies from five children with five baby daddies. No shade, but had some situations coming up there where she made some choices that probably wasn't so great. And then the biggest one was the drug thing. But with all that being said, you would hope and you would want the person that when they get into a position somewhere, they would do better. Because when you know better, you should do better. But that don't always the case. And I don't know about anybody else, but everybody has taken to Demore very, very strongly.
Right.
I mean, she's just exceptional, this young lady. And the way she tells her story. But the whole thing I was going to say was,
that's what Judge Shady said. She said her daughter is amazing at telling her story.
Well, she is. And you have to have compassion for her. But a mother to be concerned so much that she wanted her daughter not to be with somebody, that's a little excessive. That sounds like a control freak to a point that you might lose your mind because you don't have your way. That's a problem. She got to go on with her own life, the mom. So I just think that whole thing. Then you have, of course, Ramir. Ramir is more hurt and broken by the whole thing because, according to Carter's story, he didn't have his father, and you would think he would be different. And then you would think he would handle it different. And Ramir seems to think that people that have power should do different things because they have the power, but they don't always have the character. And that's the problem. So we're not told, you got to look at people and say, hey, you get somewhere. Are you sustainable? Can your character keep you here? Because if you're not in the right character, if you're doing all these things, you're going to just create a whole lot of enemies and you won't stay there. And you see the corruption and you see the crumbling, in my view, of a lot of that going on around the country. That people are just going down. But it's a shame. It's really a shame. And it's like you still can say it can still be rescued. There's still a way out, everybody. There's still hope. But the people that are doing this stuff has got to do the right thing. That's right. Right money can't buy you class. It sure enough can't. So it's sad. But yeah, this story with this young man, this video you're playing, I heard it. And he's right. Both of them have their children going against him. And what does that say? That says a lot about the parent themselves. Especially in Ramir's case. This has been going on for a long time with him. So it's a sad thing, everybody.
Yeah, like I remember a short I put that short, and what you could say, like you can really see that Ramir is passionate about just respecting his father, because one thing as men when we are fathers,
You're breaking up a little bit, C-Dub.
No matter
there you go.
Hold on, gang. Okay, no matter what, even if our fathers wasn't there as men, later in life, we're gonna put on the charge. We're gonna respect our fathers. It don't matter if they're not there. If we meet them later in life, we're still gonna respect our fathers. That's and that live that that show Tasha K, when they mentioned, do you think that Beyonce has a grudge against Ramir, and you said yes. Dr. Lily Coley, you didn't bite your tongue on that interview on Tasha K. And Ramir didn't answer it.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah, he
he
always gonna
didn't
be slow
answer
to
it, I
answer.
felt, because he wanted to stand Stoddle because he had hope. See, that's what people got to look at. He had hope that he would meet his father and his sisters. And that's why he didn't comment on it. And I think that took a lot of skill. I think that took a lot of humbleness, and I thought that was real because he could have said, yeah, he could have did that, but instead of answering the question, he said no. So as a father, me being a father, I looked at that like that young man. That was power that he didn't answer that question,
Yeah,
and he
because
just said he left it open because that lets you know that he wants to be have
right.
time with his father.
He's not that kind of person, and he knows. Yeah, yeah, and he's trying to keep peace. Somebody in relationships, people, somebody has to be what they need to be so it can be, you know. Because sometimes everybody ain't always who they supposed to be. But
Yeah,
there's times when you're doing what you're supposed to do, and the other person isn't, and vice versa. And it's nice when you're both doing it, but sometimes you
That's
don't
right.
always get that.
right. And I like
That's
what
right.
Judge Shady Court said. She said all darkness will be exposed
Amen.
in the light this year. Absolutely.
Amen.
And
Glory to
everybody got
God.
to think about this too. Yeah, you know, what if Perez is a plant? What if he? That this is me. What if? Because there is some shit going on that I'm gonna show y'all. Right? You thought I wasn't gonna show y'all the game? Yeah, I'm gonna show you. She could be a plant. He could be getting a Rico. He might be getting a Rico.
Mm.
And what if
Who?
she was a plant? What
Who's
if
about to get
she's
the
not?
Rico?
He's gonna get a Rico, possibly. But he might roll over on Gotti before he get the Rico. But like Judge Shay, I truly believe. I have to. I see it. I'm a believer in the Most High. And like
Mm.
Judge Shady said, what's in the dark gonna come to the light.
I know that's right.
So what if Perez, we already know she was an informant. Why would you know someone's an informant and you still let her come be a part of your camp? Is he an informant? Does he work for the FBI, the CIA? Because you know this woman is an informant. But what if she's also still have the plug? She got the connections. Now everybody think about it. She has connections with the cartel. She has connections, I say it again, with the cartel gang.
Mm-hmm.
So that means she can get in touch with her old clientele.
Well,
So
a lot of them have
Jay-Z
been, yeah, a
wants
lot of
something
them have
like
been.
that close to him. He has the plug. She's the plug.
Mm.
And he's the plug to all the bigger highest execs. Because don't think these rich white people don't sell drugs. You must be out of your mind. As a wife and a global icon, she should have embraced this long ago. Her father made several kids, hence her nonchalant attitude. Thank you, Judge Shady. So now let's watch this. Let's go through this. This is very passionate. That's why I picked this video. Like, share, and subscribe.
Desiree Perez, on the other hand, is being accused of being the CEO of Rock Nation, who deals and signs nothing but black artists. She's been accused of calling her daughter's husband the hard ER. To a lot of y'all, that's nothing. But to be the CEO of a label that deals with nothing but black artists, you're in for a world of trouble if that's proven in court that you did it. She's also being accused of weaponizing the police department to get the daughter's husband locked up multiple times because he's black and she don't like black folks, according to the daughter. She also
Weaponizing the police department. Dr. Don't this sound familiar to us? Weaponizing the police department. Being able to fund the policemen. Do them like they did Ramir. Plant a gun in Ramir's car.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot at Ramir's car.
6 times.
Shoot at Ramir's car 6 times.
It was 35 rounds, 6 bullets hit the car.
What?
Yeah. And that was when he filed some allegations through the prosecutor's office on the crimes that were committed in the courtroom, such as the fraud against the attorneys and Mr. Carter.
Wow.
Oh, y'all didn't know that, did you? Well, you learned it
Wow.
today.
Huh.
See,
Yeah,
I covered this story years ago, didn't I, Dr. Lily?
and then somebody has
The
it out
bullets
there
in the
online.
car.
Yeah.
I got pictures of the bullet holes in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Y'all didn't know that. But there was a gun planted. So they manipulating the police. The daughter is telling. I want to give a special shouts out to Nicki Minaj for making this go viral.
Exactly. And Desiree
Shouts out to
Perez
Nicki
lives in New
Minaj.
Jersey.
Oh, Nicki Minaj brought this up?
She didn't bring that up, but she helped bring light to the litigations that
story.
are coming up. Yeah.
So why would Nicki Minaj tag it? Huh? Because Nicki Minaj knows that this is his son. Nicki Minaj knows that this is his son. She made this go viral. Shouts out to Nicki Minaj. She the one that got this back in the algorithms for a reason. Man up, Jay-Z. You say you over? I'm gonna knock a knot in your drawers. Now let's go.
Utilize her connections to get the daughter institutionalized into a mental health hospital, even though she's never been mentally ill. And she put trackers on the daughter. She
put a tracker on her daughter phone, gang. You put it. What you scared your daughter finna go say? What you scared your daughter finna say, Desiree? Desiree, what you scared about what your daughter finna say? Why you put a tracker on her car? Why you want to put her in a crazy home, gang? Fighting for her life. You wanted to put Desiree wanted to put her daughter, gang, in the crazy home, gang. Her own flesh and blood. Put a tracker on her car? What you want to put a tracker on her car for, gang? Let's get to what you paranoid for, Desiree? I said, damn, let's go, gang.
Put spies to follow the daughter, hired a private investigator, bought a house across the street from the daughter.
Had a private investigator buy a house across the street. Do you know live across the street from you, Dr. Lily Coley? Are you cool with your neighbors?
I am now. I was there too before. My neighbors would have told me, but yeah, it's very excessive. It's very sick to have people like that in your life. And see, her daughter's not moved by the money, and neither was her husband, and they don't like that. Some people can't understand that because they're more of they're different in demeanor, and they are more into character and having peace than to be a part of toxic types of environments. Everybody don't want that. They like, you can have it. Exactly.
I said, damn. Let's continue.
Watch and stalk the daughter. So these are the accusations that she's currently enduring. Just like how Jay-Z been avoided that DNA test like the plague, Desiree Perez has been avoiding deposition like the plague. She's been filing motion after motion after motion, telling the judge, yo, I'm a CEO. I'm very busy. I can't be deposed. This is very damaging to my public career. She also got a gag order on her daughter so the daughter can't speak publicly. So Desiree Perez, for some reason...
Why do you think she got a gag order, Dr. Lily?
Because it's the same thing. They like to use the law to hide bad behavior. the gag order it's in the interest of her and not of the case, because that's what a gag order is supposed to be in the interest of the government, to make sure the government
Right.
with their yeah. So that's because she wants to cover bad behavior. It's the same thing they do with sometimes with sealed records. The record is sealed because of the wrong thing, but anything can be forever though, because especially when stuff is over with. But at the end of the day, yeah, that's why she did it. I think anyway, because Desiree has been a part of this mafia thug type of environment, and unfortunately, her being where she is now, she's not the role model we thought we wanted her to be. You know, she has a lot of qualities about her that she don't need to use in a negative way, and we would hope that one day she would snap out of this and be a woman that a lot of other women can look up to and respect, because everybody has something about them. But the way she's conducting herself, the way she's handling her child, it's not good. They have to show people what it looks like, how to resolve a grown people's issues. If you resolve it like a child or somebody who's petty or immature, that at that level, it don't do nobody no service. Don't do you no service. It don't do the environment, the public, and what you're serving. It's just crazy. So I'm thinking sometimes I wonder why people want to be in the position they are, because it's self-serving. You know, you're only serving yourself and your two friends. But when you have
Mm-hmm.
all these people under you that you could influence, it's such a blessing to see people do right and do something that's to edify the community beyond themselves. When you know they could do something different, but they don't because they're thinking about the community. That's a beautiful thing.
It is. That is.
It's a beautiful thing. So when you're just going to serve yourself and serve your interests and all this stuff, and you don't care who you walk over, it's something wrong with that. There's something fundamentally wrong with that. And I think people just got to sit down and check themselves. Sit down and check yourself. Because eventually, if you keep this up, you're going to be running into some problems.
Yeah, all these
Go ahead.
billionaires, yeah, I was saying P. Diddy, Jay-Z, all these billionaires, we keep seeing it. Like you said, they get to that point, they just, as long as they was satisfied, as long as they was taking care of themselves, they didn't care. You know, they lived in their own little world. But then now it's starting to unfold because, like you said, it just doesn't last forever. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
It don't.
it doesn't
It
last
don't
forever.
last. And one thing I know why all these blessings and these things are still surfing it is because Dr. Lily Coley is a praying woman. And she
Amen.
come from a praying family. And she's always told me that and always taught me that. When I'm down, she picked me up with that when we talk.
Mm-hmm.
Pray, Dove, pray. She keep me out of a lot of trouble.
Because you
You
don't want
know,
to use your emotions. You don't want to use your emotions to make decisions. Your emotions can get you in trouble. All of us.
absolutely.
That part.
It got to be managed. And that's when you know you're maturing. But it takes a full-time job to mind your own business. That means you got to,
That's
right?
about
No, that's
You got to sit down and talk to you for real.
yeah.
And that's how you know you're maturing. Because, you don't want to be somewhere where you hurt people and you all this other stuff is something going on. Because you're going to crumble. You're going to crumble inside and out. So, I mean, people don't, that's why they say it's lonely at the top. It don't have to be. It doesn't have to be if you are, doing what you're supposed to do. But you going around hurting people, doing all this stuff right in front of everybody. It's just hard. I mean, it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
let's continue, gang.
Is terrified, scared, having nightmares about being deposed and having that deposition leaked to the public.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a
I
man
want
over
everybody to
30
pay
who makes at
attention to
least
what I'm about to
150
show
grand a
you
year
after
and you're
we
still
watch this
embarrassed to
clip.
take your shirt off at the pool, your number one priority should be to
Everybody track me now. I need everybody to get their thinking caps on as well. Now we watch Desiree.
And she's been
Perez.
trying to hold it off for a while. Well, today, Desiree Perez and Jay-Z both woke up to court orders that are now going to require that they have to face their worst nightmares.
That's his
But
girlfriend,
before
gang.
they could even worry about the court orders that are going to force them to face their worst nightmares, their PR team alerted them that they had an even bigger problem on their hands. They had a Nicki Minaj problem. See, Nicki Minaj woke up today with the objective in mind to expose Jay-Z, Desiree Perez, and Roc Nation. And that took place all on Twitter in front of everybody to see. Her tweets gained over 100 million impressions as she really aired out the things that Rock Nation, Desiree Perez, and Jay-Z don't want out. Nicki Minaj.
100 million people.
Yeah, she had 100 million. We got 10 million for the we hit 10 million today. And it's not about the maternity, it's about the fact that the litigation is taking place and is out there, blah, blah, blah. People are aware that, you know, something's going on. They just got to get the story right because there's a lot of stuff running out there. Because everybody's concerned about baby daddy. And I think that's a big deal because that's on Ramir's bucket list, obviously. But at the end of the day, it's so much bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's a system, judicial system. It's just so much bigger.
Look, Damon Brand said he did. I know he hit that. He hit Desiree. That was his girlfriend. He got Beyonce so drugged up. Did y'all see her at that modeling at the modeling contest? And he was sitting there looking like he didn't want to be around her, and she was just rocking like a dope fiend. And Future was over there looking weird. I said, "Damn, this is crazy." But look at that. Look who tweeted it. Look who put it out with 50 Cent. Look at 50. 50 in there. Did you see that? Where it came from, 50? Ooh,
yeah.
Jay-Z. Let's go, gang.
Minaj further magnifies something that Jay-Z don't really want to bring attention to, which is the fact that a judge has granted Ramir, this alleged son of Jay-Z, the request to move forward with his case. And the judge has demanded that Jay-Z responds to Ramir paternity lawsuit by July 18th.
I was 7. My mom had to sit down with me. I guess she thought I was old enough to know now, and she that's what she was calling me first before she was calling it Jay-Z. And I really didn't know who that was because I was young, and, you know, had my little brother, and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but this was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, it's not your father, and I really want you to know what it is. This person is your father, and I just want you to know. And she continued to tell me that over the years and over the years and over the years, even until I was grown. He never tried to contact me in any type of way, and that's all I'm asking is, like, because I honestly really want the case to be over with. Like, I've been going through this, like I said, a lot, and as I said, I'm not chasing nobody. I'm not trying to do this to make somebody seem like a bad person, a bad father. I'm not trying to make nobody seem like a bad person or nothing. I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really? Why are you? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life. And
Jay-Z has been avoiding his DNA test like the plague because Jay-Z is writing off Ramir and his family as cloud chasers and as liars, and they're people who are wasting his time. Now, for me specifically, my opinion on this changed once I seen a document from 2011 where they were trying to petition Jay-Z for a DNA test in 2011. These people
2011, Dr. Lilly been pushing a hard line. 2011, all gas, no brake. To prove this, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell that's his son. Take the test, gang. Take the test. But we know he's not going to take the test. So what do we do from here?
Didn't he say the judges he can make it Mando?
Dr. Lilly?
What do you mean make it who?
Mandatory.
For Jay-Z. Right, when he has to proceed on it.
Yeah, what's going to happen with this case here, you're going to go through the process. Now, remember, most cases in place like that, they always, and I'm not saying it's going to happen with this one because you never know, they always want to get rid of the case. So they're going to probably ask the court to throw it out for whatever reason. But, of course, that probably won't happen because you're in a district court, so it's a different kind of standard. But to make a long story short, when you go through the process of this, you go through whatever you have to go through. You fight about what your counts are and your allegations, if you will. When you hash that out and you get to a place where the judge says, "Okay, yes, we can go through this. We can look at this," then you go through the discovery. Once all that's done, and I believe the law's on our side, and you win. Once you win, and or somewhere in that arena, the judge can a judge can do just about anything by looking at things, seeing stuff. He or she can say, ask you, are you interested in a paternity test? And I know you could do that for sure at the state level. We're assuming that might happen at the federal, but even if they don't, Ramir can ask. I'm not
Right.
sure what will happen, but again, this case is not about paternity. It's not looking to to find a baby daddy. It's not looking to do none of that. It's about what the persons did in order to prevent that right, because that right now, that right is not there.
Right. Y'all get it?
And
Y'all understanding what she's saying?
yeah,
They
the
broke
right,
the law. Fraud.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
but
right.
what I'm kind of getting out of that though, I mean, then he can kind of dance around a fraternity, pay a lawsuit fee, and then he still never gets fraternity. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, because he has rights too, right? So you have two cases. You have one, which is mine, that came out of the family court, and you have two, which was Ramirez, that came out of inheritance. There's two different types of laws as it governs around identity. Ramirez is inheritance, which you can use your mother, you can use the grandmother, you can use anybody, your sibling. Whereas the family court, it has to be the father. It has to be. It's a different standard that the law requires. Now, I'm not looking for that. For my case, I'm not interested in no paternity. I'm trying to get my damages from Mr. Carter's actions and what he did, which I believe the allegations which he did regarding to avoid it, the things he did to avoid taking the
Does
test.
does
So
does
right,
it the bottom line? Does he still want the fraternity, or will he just be satisfied with damages?
I think Ramir wants both for sure.
Okay.
I mean, as much as
Okay.
he wants to let this paternity thing go down and let it go, I don't think he can, because he said he needs closure. So I let him. I don't instigate anything with that with him. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that has to be 100% his call. And
Okay.
if he feels at the time that he went through, and when he went through, when the relief that he's going to get, or they call you your day in court, and you get what they call I won't say restitution, but when you are able to win a case, and you feel that feeling of, I won't say fulfillment, I can't think of the word I'm trying to use, but you get to a place of being whole again. If he may decide to do it or not, he may feel that he's at peace with where he's at, that some kind of solitude came out of this, or he may say, "Hey, I feel the solitude. I feel that I'm at a better place, but I still want it." So that's something that will come with time.
Yeah.
For me,
I hope he goes. I hope he goes all the way because I don't want to just make it seem like because at the end of the day, if it is settled kind of like the P Diddy thing. You just get the $30 million whatever and walk out the door. It's kind of like, okay, so what was he even there for that case when they had the whole court about the whole sex off, freak off and everything. It's like nobody even cared about that. We wanted to really know about the people that were harmed and hurt and thought
right,
that was going to be the beginning of that. So the same thing with this. We want the truth to come out about the fraternity. That's what we want because that's
Yeah.
going to open the door for other men to start standing up to the standard, and money can't buy yourself out of the situation. That's what
right,
we want to see. Because if they just
This
pay the damages, it's still showing that money can buy you out of anything. And we
right. So
try to.
that's why we're doing
right.
legislation. We got new legislation. We're going to talk around the country with people, because you
Hmm.
remember Ramir is also not trying to hurt people either, right? So
Right.
Right.
there's a struggle there. So I know he has to deal with decisions on the bigger scale, and he's not that guy. But I hear you loud and clear. That's why I don't say anything about that part, because I feel like that's his call for him.
Right.
But we have some other things we're doing, like legislation, to make sure other young people, because like we just got a young lady who DM'd us and said that she had to go through 4 men to find her father.
Right.
Finally found him.
Right.
At 24, she said she got some closure, so she knows what it feels. Some people are not strong enough to go on with their lives, and it's okay. Other people,
Yeah.
they just gotta bring that. They gotta get to a place because they don't know. I think it just so happens this person is very successful, but you're not successful in some regards to some degree because of how you allowed this to go, in my opinion, because he
Yeah.
becomes
Right.
so much more dynamic and so much more you know worth
He's an
talking
influence.
about. Yeah.
He, I mean, what he does, I mean, just like I said, like, he's looked at as a rapper, like a hero. So when you kind of do these things and you kind of say, well, you look, the rest of the society, say black young men look at him like an OG. They look how he moves and they kind of take flight and follow him. You know what I mean? And so if he does stuff like this, the next rapper, the next up and coming superstar, the next legend, they're going to do the same formula. And this is what they keep getting a lot of our black men to kind of actually want to just call it sell out.
Right.
They sell out, sell their soul, and they
Yep.
go to the industry and they just deal about the money and they have this attitude like I'm untouchable. And it makes black women look at all the black men is that way too, from the streets to the high end industry. All these men can just get away with anything, and then what they're doing there, just gonna say it straight up, they're taking favor after the white person or the industry people that's in control. And they follow the same example they follow. So it just as cold hearted they become, our black men become just as cold hearted. They
Right.
don't have any morals, no sympathy. And then Jay Z, like you said, one time himself, he was that child in the projects that had to grow up and struggle without the father and all this, the same old story. So why would he want to put his son in that same situation? You know, even though his son has been blessed not to be exactly in the situation he was. He's not out there selling drugs as Jay Z did. He didn't move the way Jay Z did exactly, but he is still his son. And fortunately, he was raised in a better moral, conscious way. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, he could have been product with his environment just like you were. Would that
Right.
made him any less? You had the ability to make him greater. Either way, you know. So it's just sad that at the end of the day, he sets that standard, and if he just kind of, I just say get away with it by just paying a couple of dollars, and that's not going to solve the problem for all the rest of the men to keep doing the same thing.
Right.
I just think he got to just follow through with it. But like I said, that's just his decision at the end of the day. But I would push for it if it was me or my nephew or anybody else. I would want them to really do it because it's like once you do that, you're going to show them that money can't buy everything, can't buy you always out of every situation, and
Right.
that's a
Right.
wake up call.
Right.
And it has to start with somebody. And Jay Z, right now, this may be that figurehead. Hey, we had Tupac, we had Biggie. Unfortunately, their life was cut short. But now we get to see how it plays out if they get this money, power, and control. How that would play out, and we get to see that reality still comes and checks them at the end. That's the way of saying, well, hey, everything, all fast money is not good money, or just because you sell your soul and you put your soul and blood on the contract, that don't mean it's a good thing to do. But if you get away with something, it's gonna look like, hey, this one you want to live like a successful king while you here living on this earth, sign your blood contract, and you're gonna get everything you want. You're gonna be untouched. You know, this is a sad situation, but I
You
hope that he's able to follow through and get the truth. Because once he does that, it's gonna open the other door too, I believe, which I think they're saying too, like you said, legislation is trying to get passed where they start making it mandatory that when children are born from day one, if they know who the father is, have an idea who the father is, they're gonna start doing that from day one when the child is born. Where the child gets to actually find out if he's signing, to say the father's there to sign a birth certificate, he's going to get DNA tests right then. So if there's going to be any problems right then at the beginning, they'll know, hey, wait a minute, I signed, and we're signed for this, but I don't know if the child's mine or not. Or maybe they just say, hey, the child is mine, but they're going to do a DNA test either way. They're going to do a DNA test at the birth. And then he can find out from birth, day one, if that child is his or not. That's going to stop a lot of the problems and the back and forth in courts and the wrong fathers getting accused of raising a child that's not theirs.
Right.
Yep,
It's
it's
going to
never too
change how
late.
child. It's going to change how child support is, and it's going to make women, like I said, be accountable again with the women. It's going to make women start moving more conservatively. They're going to start being more minded of who they sleeping with. You know what I mean? They can't just go out there and just have this guy, that guy, this guy, whatever. They're gonna have to start being like, hey, if I want to sleep with this guy, I gotta really make sure this is the one I want to be with. Because if I end up having his baby, this is who I'm gonna really be stuck with, dealing with for the rest of my 18 years or whatever. They're gonna have to start thinking morally and be
Yep.
accountable too on their side, you know. But it's gonna take something like this, I think, to happen to make the other thing trigger to happen to make that reality start happening next generation.
Yes.
So
To
this
start
can
waking the
curve and
next generation
yeah,
up. Something's gonna have
yeah,
to wake the next generation up. You're
that
absolutely
part
correct. And like you said, Doctor, you killed it in a nutshell because somewhat we have to put the foot down, man. The system is
somewhere.
supposed to. Dr. Lily Coley always told me something. She said,
Mm.
and I always kept that in my mind. And I always say this, Dr. Lily. Remember, you used to tell me, you said the system is designed to work for you.
That's right.
So
My
they need
mother.
to start
Yeah.
showing us that the system is designed to work for us. If it
It is.
is,
Yeah,
then make
because
Jay
right
Z an
now
example.
we stay on the street. We stay on the street. The system is against us.
It's against
we say,
us.
if we say just the opposite, he's like the system, especially as black males, we already feel that the system is against us from the time we show up. This is already against us one time we walk in the door. That's what we feel. That's what we kind of seen through history. So we already afraid when we go in the door. I mean, I'm guilty until I prove myself innocent. Not I'm innocent until I'm proven guilty. It's everything's reversed for us. We're guilty from the time we come in. We got to prove ourselves innocent. If we don't, we guilty even if we didn't do something.
Right.
Yep.
The laws were designed to work. And that's what my mother taught us. She said that's why people are trying to break it, bend it, and avoid it. Because the law is designed to work. She said when everybody else is following, doing what they're doing, she said, you, and you, speaking to her children, follow the law. Thank God she said it. Because that voice has been in my head. And that's what has kept me going in this case, knowing that the law was on our side. That's what the court was trying to avoid, us bringing the law to them, which they're supposed to bring and execute it. And this is why we wanted to sue the judges, because we knew that they were the problem, the main problem. Because
I'm
they
so
were,
glad you guys think that way. I mean, I'm so glad you think. I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I'm so glad you think that way because, like I said, 80, 90% of us always kind of pretty much from teenagers to adults, we're raised just the opposite, you
right,
know. But I say, like you said, it takes a person to go to law school, has a passion for the law, and like you said, even just like you said, your mother or whoever made it told you as a child how the law's supposed to be and how they know it's supposed to be, and whether it's religion or whether it's just because of common knowledge of what they know from going to school themselves and seeing it right there in the book on printed paper, you know. But us, you know, word to word and by experience, we think the opposite, and we
Yeah.
really do. I mean, black males, we really do have that fear from a child about the law because we always know that once the law gets you, they can do anything they want with you, no matter what's on paper. And you have to really have somebody to fight for you that knows it. And you have to have some kind of foundational belief in God because that's the only way some of our people made it. Because you remember back in the day, I mean, if you ran out the plantation, you did anything that broke the law, you know, or whether it was right or wrong, that you could get lynched for that. You can get killed for that on the lot, you know. So to have that fear be passed for generational, as they say, a generational curse be passed from one generation to the next, it becomes a fear in the DNA on
Yep.
site,
And
you
then it should
know,
be
and
started in our
it's some hard.
community. Like, if we had any kind of values and
To,
way we treated our culture, like back in the days,
uh,
you got stoned. Like in our culture, we had some kind of way. If a man doesn't take care of his child, we'll stone your ass. You know, there needs to be something
yeah,
in our
we had
community
we ain't
that
no
we
self
stand on.
accountability. Yeah,
And
I
you know,
mean,
it's accountability. In Tupac, they said they were starting something like that. They
what
were
the
working
fathers
on
did
something.
back then, you heard about the grandfathers and the fathers. They had the shotgun weddings, they used to call them. And my parents and grandparents used to tell me about that. If you had, as you say, we're going to go back to the age when people were 15 and 16-year-old getting pregnant. That happened all the time back in the day. But what was understood from the father, because the father was there in the household, he said, okay, I understand that you courting my daughter. He used the words quoting, courting
Courting,
my
yeah,
daughter. Yeah, that was the word they used to, you know, quoting and courting was how my parents pronounced it. But back in the day, they was dating. And when they did that, it's like it was understood that you have to take all responsibilities. Anything come up, such as her being expecting or pregnant early. And well, I know that you're the only young man quoting her. You're going to be the one accountable for taking care of that child. It wasn't looked at that time that the girl from going from one guy to the next guy to the next guy. They didn't see it that way. He just know that one guy is coming on his porch. One guy's walking her to school. One guy is walking her to church. Whatever the case is, one guy is coming and knocking on the door, asking to come in and sit for dinner. That's how they used to do back in the day with the dating. You had to go through that process first to get accepted by the father. If the father rejected you, then the daughter couldn't go with that guy. That's how it's supposed to be. Not always saying it was always 100%, but I'm just saying this is how it was broken down to me, how they used to do the courting process back in the day. You had to bring your boyfriend or the guy you liking home to be inspected by your father and uncles and family, and they had to say yes or no. Mainly the father. And then, like I said, the daughter ended up pregnant. Like, you're going to get married. It was a forced marriage back then. It wasn't no like, well, I don't really want to get married. Well, you're going to get married. And they would have a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? So that was the kind of encouragement to make sure that the young man stood up to responsibilities. They don't do that anymore. In fact, because why? Because the dads are not there. The granddads are no longer there in the household. And the woman doesn't have that kind of forceability to do what the man used to do when that came up. That disappeared. Some people don't even know about what I'm talking about right now. You know what I'm saying? But some people do. You feel what I'm saying?
Right now, gang, you're dropping gems. These are the things that need to be heard, man. It's passionate. You know, it's real. Because this is what's tearing our community up. It's what's tearing the community.
So much so.
There's so much more we can have to
gain.
So
much more.
Yes. Judge Shady Court, that's my email. Email me your contact tomorrow and I'll give you a call. We're going to get to, and I know Dr. Lily, I'm going to play this next clip. And this is one of my main parts I want to play. I'm going to give you guys a little information. Dr. Lily, you up? Are you up? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Let's continue this play.
These people were so serious or so confident that Jay-Z was the father of Ramir that they had to take away parental rights from the stepdad, like de-establish paternity, in order for them to go after Jay-Z, and they did it. Because at the time, I believe the stepfather was stepping in, took like parental rights, took guardianship of the son. So because of that, the court is saying, yo, he already has a father. There's no legal avenue here for us to demand that Jay-Z step up. They took away those rights from the stepdad, Robert Graves, to make sure that Jay-Z can get served or they can go after Jay-Z. That's how serious these people are, bro. Jay-Z's former artist, Oshino, he actually spoke to Ramir, and he actually received more information on this that have convinced.
This is important.
All you wanted was to add a column while planning your next sprint. Maybe it's time to move to Monday Dev. Here are 5 Monday Dev features to plan.
This is what I want to ask you about, Dr. Lily Cole.
Have convinced Oshino that Jay-Z is the father.
Did you see? I think the girl like Tasha K. She got a joint Jay-Z son on there.
Oh, his alleged son?
No. If you talk to him personally, that's his son.
You think that's his son?
Yeah.
All right. So now, he said you talk to him personally, like I have. That's his son. Are y'all here? Hit the like button. Ain't nobody here to play no games with you, gang. I didn't come here to make friends, gang. I came here to drop facts. Anything you see on our channel gonna be facts, gang. I just use the word because y'all saying it, allegedly. Y'all get in here.
Oh, his alleged son?
No.
You don't try to say alleged son. Get your ass out of here, Vlad. Get your ass out of here, Vlad. And you want to sound laughing when you say it. You see, you want people to come on your show. You lie him up. You know that's that man's son. Let's go.
She got a joint Jay-Z son on there.
Oh, his alleged son?
No. If you talk to him personally, that's his.
You say you talk to him personally. Oh, his alleged son. His alleged son. Nah, his son. Hold on, gang.
Tasha K, she got a Jay-Z.
His son?
No. If you talk to him personally, that's his son.
You think that's his son?
Yeah. You know what I think his son? First of all, Jay-Z offered him money. At first, he offered him bread, like and everything, but his aunt, this is like his caretaker, didn't like approve of it. She said no. Jay-Z got a lien on her house, all type of shit.
So he offered you money, Dr. Lily?
He didn't offer. Hold on to that. He didn't offer me any money. He's talking about. I think he's talking about Ramir. I don't know. Play that piece again.
Okay.
Caretaker didn't like approve. First, you offered them.
You think that's his son?
Yeah. You know what I think his son? First of all, Jay-Z offered him money. At first, you offered him bread, like and everything, but his aunt, this is like his caretaker, didn't like approve of it. She said no.
He's saying you didn't approve of the money that Jay-Z offered.
My sister had called me from the hospital. I don't recall all of this to happen. It could have been because he said his aunt. So I'm not sure if they're talking about something that happened with us. I'm not really sure what he's talking about. That's what I can't really comment on it.
Okay.
But I'm sure that because I don't even know how long ago it was. I just don't know the contents and what he's talking about.
Okay.
Because that's an old video.
His aunt, this is like his caretaker, didn't like approve of it. She said no. Jay-Z got a lien on her house, all type of shit that was going on.
So he's saying Jay-Z got a lien on your house.
Right. So there was an illegal lien placed on my home that I sold, and part of the money I received back. And that's a long drawn out thing, but it comes from the illegal actions of the fraud. The fraud led people to go try to block the law, Dr. E. The law was designed to work. That's why people are trying to break it and bend it and hide it. Now, whether they execute it on everybody is another story. But once you know it is designed to work. That's why people try to avoid it in some cases. Some people embrace it and some people avoid it.
Right.
And in this case here, they were trying to do some stuff to get us out of the system because the case kept going on and on and on, because every time you do something wrong, we were right up on it. And then you appeal it and it ties it up. And they got to a place where they wanted us out of the court. They wanted me out of the court because we got too close to the truth, so to speak. We had the truth and it was coming to the top. And they had one package that they sent back. I won't go through all the details that really laid some stuff out, and it made some big people there afraid. So therefore, because there is not about Mr. Carter, it's about what the court system did. They're the ones signing the orders. So at any rate, that's this thing, all these, the bad behavior, if you will, and the fraud on top of fraud, on top of fraud, on top of fraud. You got to cover the cover up. What else you going to do? So therefore, you get to a place, you had to do some, and this was crazy because the lien was never attached to the property. It was just out there in the system related to escrows. So the court wasn't stupid because they know they didn't have any legal leeway to do it, but they also didn't probably want to deal with a rich person coming in there. So they did what they did because they're trying to cover up themselves for themselves too.
Right.
It's a long story short, they had the lien, and it popped up in a system when I was selling my home. When I went to go look for the lien, even prior to, I didn't see it. It was not in the county. It was nowhere. But at the end of the day, there's certain types of culture of people, I'll put it that way, that kind of work together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what they do is when this happens, they kind of work together. But at the end of the day, you ain't going to work together with my money.
Right.
So it became a problem. They tried to put this lien on there, and then they did put the lien indirectly. They were paid frankly for fraud, if you will. Put it
right.
The blank or
and
frank.
this is part of what you're fighting today. That's
correct.
part of
Because it went from the
That's why I
fraud to
said that's what Judge Shady is A1 on. I'm gonna get her contact and let her contact you, and y'all get on that case. Because if I want to hear anybody break that down, it would be Judge Shady. And I would love for you guys to link. I'm gonna set that up with her, and I'm gonna spin off of that because I'm gonna watch this through. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to watch this and at the end of his live, I want to get a little bit more detail about what happened with that incident. Because tomorrow, I'm on Jay-Z's head. So I need everybody to tune in. I'm going in Jay-Z, Zach Randolph. We're going into a lot of illegal things happen across the border. The cannabis clubs, the cannabis situation they got going on. I'm going to break this down to you guys. So I'm going to break it all the way down. Dr. Lily, you can come on tomorrow too, but I wanted to get this key part. But I I'm going to pitch you to the right people. Judge Shady's show is awesome. And as far as breaking down your case now, this is what Dr. Lily said. They put liens on her home. So this is why she's like, forget that. I got my own separate case on look what these people are trying to do to me.
Right.
So for me fighting for my godson.
All of
and
this
that's wrong.
We went through for this simple process being followed, people coming to your house, being bullied, car shot up, somebody trying to get in my home, then somebody put a lien on all this. You only can laugh because it's like, what?
Somebody tried to get in your home? Just pure evil.
There was some two men that came to my home. I want to say back in 2017.
Okay.
And it was like in the fall, and they went straight to the back of the house before I got the gate up. And I was working in the office, and they said, it was two of them, and one of them said, just like before, and the other one said, it's gonna be hard to get in there. I was like, what? And I kept on working like a crazy person. I should have got up and said, but I know what I heard. And basically that's what they did and said. The next day I asked my neighbor, because we all had single homes, there's only 3 or 4 homes there. I said, did you have anybody at your house yesterday that was talking? I said, because I heard some people calling. He says, no, I didn't, Lily, I didn't. Get your gate. Get your gate. So that was that. But at the end of the day, of course, my brother being a police officer, I reported it. And yeah, people are crazy. So and it came around a filing time. It came around some other stuff that was going on during that time. And I do think I know who kind of was linked to it, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, they came back and said, he said, just like before. And the other one said, it's going to be hard to get in there. So they apparently were doing it at somebody else's house. So once I found out that Desiree, hate to say this, was living in New Jersey. Oh, okay. Up there, no, that's okay. Then I said, okay, this could explain. I'm not saying it did. It could explain because it's thuggish type behavior. I hope it wasn't because I thought she was a different type of person. But hey, you never know. She might feel like she got to do what she got to do. But all of this because of a baby daddy? Are you kidding me? We can't work this out. It's just, to me, it's absurd. It's absurd. But yeah, exactly. So there's been a lot. All of this for the last 14 years, just because you wanted one thing. And the one thing led to the fraud, and the fraud turned into an absolute mess. Because when I knew the fraud was there, I addressed the fraud, and they would never try to address the fraud. They kept blocking it, putting their fingers in their ear, so to speak. La, 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 literally. So that's what you mean when you have no due process, because what you're bringing to the court, they don't want to see it. And it's their own stuff, your own tax records, your own deeds with your seal on it, but you want to ignore it. Are you kidding me? Okay, so fine. So you want to ignore the stuff. You don't want to use anything that we're giving you. You're saying you don't have jurisdiction. You don't want us to be part of this whole arena. No problem. Then you cannot make any decisions about a case that you don't have jurisdiction over. That's a fact. And that's the law, Dr. E, that sometimes when people have whatever that law is, and you got to keep nailing it. And sometimes you got to fight for it. You got to take that thing and use it as a dog weapon. Because if somebody tries to not do it, then you have to say, look, you can't have it both ways. You either go this way, and this is this problem. And this is what was beautiful about the law, is that when the law is on your side, you blocked either way. And this is the situation with us. They were blocked either way. So it wasn't like somebody was trying to take you down, but you're taken down, buddy. You are. But unfortunately, being a Black female, and at some points we didn't always have an attorney, and you had, other persons of other cultures and faith, they don't want to see a woman or even a Black woman succeed in that regard. They just can't have that happen because that's not their culture. But I don't see that. I see that what's right and what's wrong. That's all I see.
Right. That's what I see.
Right.
When you get that law and it's on your side, you never let it go. You take it all the way to the end. And ours is exactly that. That's why we're still here. That's why we're talking about it now.
All the way to the end. We with you. We support you highly.
Right.
We're gonna be here. We're gonna keep pushing this and keeping it in the algorithms, and we're just gonna continue. I'm gonna go finish this clip. Let's rock and roll.
Yeah, the lady put up paperwork and everything with his name on it and all that. I mean, but young boy's so thorough though. He just want a dad. He not trying to get no money. He not trying to do none of that. I mean, that's why. So I told him when he called me 2 years ago, I said, listen, I don't want to be the one to tell your story because they're gonna think I'm trying to catch rep off of it. So let me let you tell your story somewhere else first. I mean, then I could talk about it. But he called me like 2 years ago, telling me like, I mean, I said, oh, young boy. He's like, I just want a dad. I don't want no money. I'm already 18. I think he was like 20 something at the time. I mean, but something happened to him, and I was like, yo, that sounds kind of weird. He said he was coming out from work, going to work, and it was a gun in his car, like in the.
So coming out from work, it's a gun in his car. Let's continue.
When he opened the door, he seen the gun. He said he went to go like call his man, like, yo, did you leave a gun in my car? His man's like, no. He said, why you on the phone talking to his man? The cops pull up and lock him up. He said, he's telling the cops, no, that's not my guns. Like, so he went in the building he was in, and they seen that somebody pulled up and put the guns in his car.
Oh.
And pulled off. I said, bro, I don't know nobody in the hood that got guns to just waste like that to do that. I don't know what. Yeah, so like, Jay-Z, I just take when he was born.
I haven't seen it.
Did we say more? The mom was her age. The mom was underage. Ramir had to turn around and go look at the cameras. Are y'all listening, dog? From another building, and saw someone placing guns in his vehicle, Dr. Lily? Are you there, Dr.
That's what happened.
So he actually saw camera footage of someone placing guns.
Because the cops were already there. Yeah. They put it in there and they called the cops. You breaking up.
Yeah, see, you breaking up. That's why I was trying. I was getting bits and pieces of it. You breaking up.
Am I still breaking up?
That's a little bit better.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. I can say this again.
It's doing it again on my end. I don't know. It could be me. I don't know. You get different. I'm moving again, so I don't know if it's different.
Yeah, Dr. E sounds fine. Yeah, he got to come out. But he was saying Ramir did have that situation where there was a person who planted guns in his car and called the cops. And I guess he was coming out, whatever he was doing. And the cop was, going to arrest him. He said, these are not mine. And then he said, let's look at the camera. And thankfully, thank God, it was a camera across the street.
Wow.
Just call the cops like that. And that was right around the time he had asked for the court to look at the prosecutor's office to look at the crimes that were committed in the court of concern and fraud, because some of these attorneys were doing some really bad stuff.
So they actually, like, somebody actually broke into his car, like with a Slim Jim, and opened his car up and put the guns in there? Or?
He kept his car door open and unlocked. And I had said to him, "You had your car door unlocked?" He said, "Yeah," and they knew that.
Wow. Yeah, it has to be somebody that know you, because the average person has alarm or chirp or whatever on their car, right? So they knew that he didn't. So it's like, oh, he opened himself up right there. But they had to know him personally, because the average person would think, oh, he's gonna lock the door when you get out the car.
Right. And this car not working. It was a car that was waiting for a part or something. Well, he would every now and then he said, "Go sit in it." So whoever he was fit in it for a minute or two, and whatever. And
take a smoke or something in the car or whatever, or just go play the radio in the car.
A getaway place, I guess too.
Yeah.
But
But whoever, somebody else knew that too, and like, oh, he don't locks his door. So that person was the person or people that pretty much got into the car and did what they did and planted the guns, because they knew. That's wild. But yeah, it had to be. When somebody breaks in your house or breaks in your car, in that case, it's usually somebody you know, or somebody who knows you pretty well.
He looked in the and the guy wasn't recognized, because I said that to him. Was it the guys you were hanging around with because you had a disagreement with? He said it wasn't them. He said the boy that did it, nobody knew where he came from. Exactly. It was somebody who was trying, because they had been watching Ramir for the obvious reason since almost from day one. And I told them that since you're in this high profile situation, you have to conduct yourself differently. You got to be aware of your surroundings. You just have to. You can't expect. You can't be naive and think that your life is going to be pretty much the same. It's really not. And unfortunately, they did that. And I think there might have been some, people upset too about some things he did prior to it, because Ramir does what he wants. And that's just what he does. If he feels like he's supposed to do something, he does it with the legal system and anything. And he did. And I think there may be some people who wasn't too happy with that. And like I say, it's some things I don't have control of. Yeah, I don't run people's life.
The creator keeps them safe. I definitely do, because this is one of them lines you kind of have to draw. It's a shame we have to come to that, but you have to really draw on a line. You got to be willing to kind of risk your life for the truth and righteousness. That's what always seems to happen. Whether it's civil rights or, in his case, fraternity rights, civil rights, all that together, and it's moral rights. He's just asking for the truth to be told. And anytime when you kind of challenge the system, like you said, and go against the grain of what they expect you to do, then they want to, put these threats on you. They want to, make you threaten your life and all these other kind of things. And it's really sad that it has to be that way all the time. It's always right against evil or evil against righteous. You know what I mean? It's just sad. But usually the righteous, it usually wins. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So I pray his situation goes that way as well. So I'm really sad to hear all the stuff that he went through. But it's expected, and I think he already knows. At a certain point, you got to wear that shield. And be aware, protect yourself.
It's been a lot of nonsense.
Mm-hmm. I think C-Dub was trying to come back.
Yeah, I'm here.
C-Dub, you here?
I was just listening. What did I miss? Because I'm telling you, y'all see how my stuff just went off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that Illuminati shit. I said, damn. Anytime you see how they got control now, they be doing that on purpose, gang. I had all my bars.
I think so.
When I asked the key question.
What was the key question again? Say it again.
Key question.
Yeah, go again.
Now, if you heard that artist just say that when Ramir called him, he said Ramir actually, the police pulled up on him after he found the gun, right after he found the gun. But he actually went up to the next building, and the building cameras saw some men placing a gun inside of his vehicle.
That's what we just discussed.
So that actually happened like that, Dr. Coley?
Yeah, that's correct. He said that somebody knew that he sat in his car every now and then. It was a car that was either waiting for a part or, something to that effect. It was his car. And yeah. And they pretty much put the guns in there and called the cops. So when he came back to the car, the cop was there and said what he said. Somebody called and said there was a report of the gun in the car. He said, well, it's not mine. And then by the grace of God, there was a camera across the street. And he said, well, let's see what we can find about the camera so that we can look at it and find out, So he's definitely covered because the camera was working and the camera was able to get the footage. Isn't that crazy?
They wanted Ramir to seem like he was a problem child.
Well, if somebody was trying to get him
his record,
Jay-Z
was too good to come around him. He was in trouble. Oh my God.
Carries guns around. They try to make him seem like a negative person, but it didn't work. Like he said, he was covered, and God had that camera working. Thank God.
Right. That's all God working in ways to
something.
So yeah, he basically, in a nutshell, was vindicated because of a camera and the cops.
Wow.
They didn't even know. They was like, so somebody planted it and called the cops.
Yeah, and that person had to be a paid plant. He had to be a paid plant because no regular person, like you said, is going to do something like that. They didn't even know him. He didn't even know the guy who was. So that means somebody sent him. Like they say, who sent you? Somebody sent him. And he got paid to do what he did. But he got to know him enough or got close enough to him, or somebody that was close enough to him to know that he left his car unlocked and he's six in it. And when he's six in it.
Yeah, they were watching him.
Watching him.
Yeah, somebody was watching.
He moved. Oh.
It's a cold, cold world. It's a cold, cold game. Oh man. I said, damn. That's documented, gang. So from this point on, we're gonna put the clamp down. Dr. Lily Coley, I'm gonna give you Judge Shady's number. She's gonna contact me with your number, and I would love to watch that live because I know it's gonna be off the hook, and we're gonna keep this in the algorithms. I'm gonna pinpoint off of that. But people that are in here now, y'all got an exclusive from Dr. Lily, gang. And we all praying that Ramir get his justice. Jay-Z could easily just go take that test. And him not taking that test definitely shows that he's the father, gang. Be a man, bro.
That's it.
Be a man.
I mean, we would have to take it, the average man, a working class man, or whatever the case is, or a local dope boy. We would have to go take that test. So what makes him any different? Oh, he got money. Oh, he's Jay-Z. He's a hero. He's a ghetto superstar that turned big, and he's Hollywood now. He should have to do it. Why? As you said, going back to the humble beginning, he was just like us. If he was still in Marcy Projects, he had to take it.
Yep.
I'm just saying. So what makes him any different now? Because he's Hollywood, got billions. Nobody care. You still just like us at the end of the day. And we all want to exit the same way. So while you hearing here between that dash of the line, do right like we have to do.
Right.
See? Man up. That's us making him accountable. That's his peers. We about his age, your peers saying, hey, man, step up and do right, man. Go ahead and handle your business. Just that simple.
And he's not
same
even
people that bought his record samples. You know what I'm saying?
They'll let you know, like, where do they come from? Like, damn, do you believe in God? Do you not know that you're gonna pay for this? KWJ say he gonna go to jail. As he
Well,
should.
it comes back to that beginning, like you just said right there, just catching it right there. You said, do he believe in God? So you got to look at when he was back there, like I said, surviving in the projects. He made a moral conscious decision way back in the day, like we all had the probably choice if you're from the hood of anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Do y'all want to get out there in these streets and make this fast money? Everybody probably had that question once or twice. So do I join this group to make this money and get the status? You know, everybody had that jump of life when you was like, nah, I ain't gonna do that, or you gonna do it. That moral thing clicks in, and usually it's the God. You know what I'm saying? It's something you've been exposed to by granny or your mom, dad, uncle. Somebody kind of told you what God was, and some way implanted a moral conscience in you. And even Jay-Z had that. And he knew what he was doing. He was out there, but he did it anyway. And then he got glamour and fame off of what he did. That was a part of the times in the 90s. You know, we kind of glorified that era because guys came from nothing. It was really about not what they was doing, but how they did it, I guess. You would say rich to poor. They made a little hustle. They had to do a little dirt. But then once they got on the other side, now they got a big record deal and they're great, you know, status-wise, and they looked at as heroes. They can come back and give to others. That's how we kind of paint them. But that's not exactly how it goes. Like we were saying earlier about their moral conscience, it's like we don't really think that way when you get that millions of dollars. The moral conscience goes out the door, but it really kind of did when Jay-Z pretty much started selling the stuff he was selling back in the day to his people.
Right.
But people kind of forget about that, you know what I mean? But it's like it started right there. The dope boy, when he makes that first decision to sell the dope, not to others out of the community, he's selling it right there where he can get easy access to the money on a daily basis, same routine every day, year in, year out. And it makes him richer. You see him go from not being able to have maybe a good pair of shoes to having every kind of pair of shoes and car that he wants off the people around him.
Mm-hmm.
And then so happens he has a talent. He just has a talent. He can rap. And he, you know, the industry glorified that era at that time. Say, hey, we're going to make money off of this kind of thing that's kind of hot right now. Guys coming from nothing and making something out of it. Let's make a story behind it. Let's put it all into music. And that's what they pretty much did, you know, thanks to Eazy-E, who pretty much opened that door, gangster rap, as they labeled it, opened that door for, hey, you can be on the corner one day and have a successful record label the next day. It was just the truth of what happened because Eazy did something different out the box. Okay. But everybody started using that formula. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And yeah, I don't mean to preach. You know, I'm just kind of saying.
No, you can preach on, gang. That's what we do on this channel. But like I said, Jay-Z, we know he's backdoored so many people. And he's backdoored so many people. And people have came out and spoke out on Jay-Z's behavior for decades, gang. And now it's surfaced. We're here now. And I mean that we're here now with the Dolph case. We know who that $22 million offer was from. We know who offered Young Dolph that $22 million. We know. We know. Same person running around here planting guns, allegedly. Planting guns. Same man that's running marijuana across the border, across the state lines, illegally. Jigga. Mm-hmm. Same man that backdoored Big Daddy Kane. Did Big Daddy Kane?
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane talked about him, didn't he? I was like, oh, wow.
He done so many people so many type of ways. Don't care. And the last thing is his son, his own flesh and blood. But you know what, Jay-Z? We're gonna stay on your top. We're gonna stay on your top. Because you know the only reason why we're gonna involve you because you're involved in the Dolph case. We want to know, you probably gonna roll over on Gotti too, huh? Then you don't know if Desiree gonna drag your ass. See, you don't know if Desiree gonna get you. See, because what y'all do is known to be traitors, untrustworthy. So you do it to each other. You are what you eat. Birds of a feather flock together. Mm-hmm. So that means it's a bunch of mixed up motherfuckers that have no loyalty.
It's the reason that remember Beyonce's sister went off on Jay-Z that time in the elevator.
Yep.
It's something that she knew more than what the regular public knew. For her to go, put hands on him. She feels some kind of way like I'm not gonna wait for somebody to do something. I'm just gonna do it my damn self. She went old school with it, but it was something between them two that she knew, or some way she felt that Beyonce was getting treated, and she didn't like it, and she reacted, and that got caught on film. So that was kind of out the box that he would, get into it with the sister-in-law over something. That shows you that he's not really the most respectable dude, even within the family.
Yep. And with that being said, everybody, next 2 days, we finna get him. And not just Jay-Z, we on a Dolph case. But Jay-Z is going to be on our next thumbnail because it has to do with the Dolph case. We're gonna show you guys a layout of some things. You guys gonna see how all of this stuff links together. All of this stuff is linking together right now. We in the fourth quarter. It's 4th and inches. We've watched a couple cases that's been going on this internet. That is sad to see that we didn't get justice for Tyreek Nichols. That was sad.
Man.
That was very sad. We didn't get any justice when it came to Puff Daddy's situation. That was sad.
True story.
Others in the past, but at some point, things are gonna start to work our way. We gotta be the voice. We gotta be the voice of reason, gang. We gotta be the voice. And I want to say thank you, Dr. Lily, for coming up and being like a third mother, because I got like two. I got MFD and you and my mom. You guys keep me grounded. I thank you so much. We just keep watching us because we definitely finna hit some pinpointers tomorrow. We're gonna get kind of deep.
What's going on with your brother Ray J?
Well, I've been watching Ray J act a fool.
Okay.
He
needs somebody to talk to.
Well, we'll have an interview with you on your channel.
Yeah.
You can ask me questions. Yeah. But I understand Ramir's situation because it hit so close to home.
Right.
A lot of people don't know my situation, and I kind of like it like that a little bit until I really break the door in. It's all timing, and I've been watching your timing just working for you, and the way we work together, and the way we've had these talks, and I think everything is the way the creator wants it to go.
Right.
So when he's ready for C-Dub to come out and share his story on this next thing, it'll be perfect timing, just like you're getting your timing and you're getting your blessings. Because there's a lot of people that know about me. Everything's going to surface. It's just, I believe in the power of God, and I believe in the power of my voice. And I believe the people that the Most High put around me are going to be, there to see it. And with that being said, I've been praying for you. I know you've been praying for me. I've been praying for Ramir. I talked to Ramir probably about a month ago. I know he's in good hands, and we here now. 4th and inches, man. 4th and inches. Let's just stay on this positive level like we are. Dr. Lily Coley, they're all over the internet, yo guys. They're all over the internet. And like she said, she just woke up the next day and Nicki Minaj shared her out. Thank you, Nicki Minaj. Thank you, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj knows. Thank you, 50 Cent.
So you've been seeing our videos all over the place.
Yes. And Dr. Lily Coley channel is on YouTube. Y'all go watch her videos.
Oh, okay.
Stay in tune. Dr. Lily Coley, just like you see it under her name. She is on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe to her channel. Start watching her. Support her. And we're thankful she came to our channel. And we're just going to be watching you, Dr. Lily Coley. I'm going to make that link between you and Judge Shady. And while y'all move forward, that will be shared, and I'll do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I will be doing a review on you guys' content, and but till then, you know, I'm going back in. There's some things that I want to share from this live on some shorts, and I want to go back and share you guys' content, because I know that's going to be a great show, because Judge Shady Court knows her thing. That's why she said Judge Shady Court up there. She knows her thing. She has power in her voice, and I think you're going to do very well. She's out of the Black tea sector, so it's a lot of people paying attention to her. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Thank you guys for joining us. Cupcake, I'll contact you in an email. I will be posting a thumbnail tomorrow. We're going in on Zach Randolph and Jigga Man, and how everything ties to the CMG situation. So be on the lookout for that. So that's going to be on tomorrow, and we definitely was fourth and inches. Please hit the like button, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Dr. Lily Coley. Thank you, Dr. E. Thank you, Chad. Thank you, Judge Shady, for coming through. Thank you, MFD, for running the channel like you do always. Judge Shady Court link is in the chat, so I just highlighted it right there. So everybody like, share, and subscribe. Go check out Judge Shady. She does her thing. Peace and love, everybody. I always say this. Remember, I know it gets hard out here, but we all going through the same thing together, and it's called life. Peace and love, everybody. We love you. It's your boy C-Dub. It's the I said a word. You know what I'm saying? And I said, damn. Thank you guys for coming in. Peace.
Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Lily. We love you.
Love you too. Thank you. God bless you.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.